Today, we're going to speak about a very interesting topic and a very popular one, and the one that gets the most questions from our students. That's supporting students through visa, compliance, and arrival. As the dates are passing quicker than ever, and now we're in the middle of July somehow, the questions in students' heads are starting to pop up quicker and quicker. Have I completed everything for my visa? Have I completed everything for my CAS? How do I do this pre-CAS interview? So today, SOP's pre-CAS interviews, how to prepare for your visa, we're going to answer all these questions. And to do so, we have very wonderful speakers today with us, starting with Elaine Seabrook, joining us today as Head of Compliance, who brings extensive expertise in international admissions, applicant services, and ensures a smooth compliance journey for students all around the world. Hi, Elaine, how are you?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm well, thank you. Really happy to be here from Canterbury Christchurch University, talking about all things admissions, international admissions today.
Oh, hi, Elaine. We also joined today by Laura Spencer, who is a Global Students Experience Manager, who works closely with prospective students and global partners to support international recruitment and enhance the student experience applications through to arrival in the UK. Hi, Laura, how are you?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and look forward to chatting with you and answering your questions.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And I am also very delighted to welcome Neki Jafari, who is our International Student Ambassador at Canterbury Christchurch University, joining us today to share her experience. Hi, Negi.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having me here. I'm really looking forward to share my experience as a student and also working as a student ambassador.
Thank you, Negi. And with this, we're going to speak now about the agenda of the webinar. So what are we going to discuss today and what can you expect? And that's on the next slide, please. Right, so first we're going to discuss the statement of purpose, which is also known as the SOP. We hear a lot of students asking us, what is an SOP? What is this abbreviation? So that would be the statement of purpose. Also going to speak about the pre-CAS interviews, deposit payments, requesting your CAS, and tips for avoiding a visa refusal, as well as other interesting topics. But for now, I'm going to give it to Elaine to speak about your journey to CCCU. Elaine, over to you.
Thanks, Saula. Right, so we're going to talk about your journey, as Saula said, to CCCU. And here you can see the major steps in the process to actually get here and arrive on campus. So, as an overview, the first thing you're going to get is your offer letter. Okay, this is always sent by email. And then you're going to have to attend your pre-CAS interview. So we will talk about that subject in more depth coming up. After your pre-CAS interview, that's when you will pay your study deposit. Okay, that is a requirement for international students who are joining us. And once you've done all that, that's when you're going to be able to make your CAS request. That is an online process. We will go through what that looks like, and we'll actually show you the interface so that you're familiar with how to do that. And part of the CAS request process is where we do the financial check. So I'm sure some of you are already aware, but some of you may not be, that you will have to show your financial documents, both to the university, and then those are the documents that will be approved for you to submit with your visa application to the Home Office, UK Visas and Immigration. Once you've passed all of the CAS checks, that's when your CAS will actually be assigned by our compliance team. And then that's when you'll be able to go and make your visa application and submit that online. Once you have your decision, you'll get your e-visa, and then you'll actually be able to travel to the UK and arrive in Canterbury with us. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the statement of purpose, because that's one of the first things that you'll do in this journey to joining us. So the statement of purpose is a really important part of your application, and it's something that you're going to submit when you apply to the university. So it needs to be written by you, and the purpose of the statement of purpose is to tell us why you'd like to come to the UK, why you'd like to come to Canterbury Christchurch University to study on your particular course. Again, it needs to be uploaded with your application. Generally, it doesn't need to be more than one page. It really is a one-pager, a few paragraphs at the most. It doesn't need to be several pages long, okay? And this is where you get a chance to discuss any previous study that you've done, work that you've done, volunteering, internships, anything like that, how that relates to the course that you're applying, and your long-term career goals, and any aspirations that you have around that. It's also your opportunity to tell us why you've chosen CCCU specifically. So why do we ask for a statement of purpose? It's important because it allows us to identify your suitability as a candidate for the course that you've chosen. It also allows us to review how your previous work and study fits along with the course and your chosen career path. It's something that is likely to be discussed in your pre-CAS interview, okay? It is a very important document. And it's really important that it's written by you and it is specific to you. It's one of the most important things that you put into words why you want to come to Canterbury Christchurch. We don't recommend using AI to write your statement of purpose. And the reason for that is that if you use AI, your statement is going to look exactly like all the other people who used AI. And trust me, we do see this. The statements will be almost identical. The phrasing, the words chosen, the ideas that are there, they will all be identical if you use AI. The only way we suggest maybe using AI is during brainstorming, but you don't want to take ideas from AI because then they will just be duplicates of the other people that chose AI and said, please write me a statement for Canterbury Christchurch. And what we want to see is your genuine reasons for coming to study with us.
And Elaine, is there a
Yes.
specific format students should follow when writing an SOP, or the format doesn't really matter?
So there is flexibility in the format, okay? The elements that I talked about on the last slide are important to include, but how you choose to include those elements are up to you or up to the applicant. You know, you should write in full sentences. We wouldn't recommend doing bullet points or anything like that because it is a test of your writing abilities and how you can put together an argument. But I've certainly seen statements, and I know, you know, friends and colleagues of mine, some people decide to tell a bit of a story. Some people, you know, they give anecdotes and lead into the reasons that they want to study at a particular university. Some people get a bit creative in how they write their personal statement. The most important thing is that it's unique to you and specific to you. You know, if we read a personal statement and it could apply to anyone, then the statement hasn't really served its purpose of telling us about you and why you want to join us.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your answer. Now, another thing students keep on asking us, they're worried about grammatical mistakes, possible grammatical mistakes on their SOPs, saying that that's why they scan the whole SOP with, let's say, ChatGPT. Do you have any advice for these students?
I do. And as someone who is a book editor in their spare time, I can give some really great advice when we're talking about grammar. So there are lots of tools that you can use for grammar that won't rewrite or write in the first place your statement. Grammarly can be used for free. There is a free edition of Grammarly, and Grammarly will explain the errors that you're looking at. If you're using a program like Word, Microsoft Word. There are some free versions. There's some like open, you can look at Open Office if you're looking for something free, and they do have spell checkers in there. If you search for a grammar app, that will be more appropriate than using AI to do your spell check and your grammar checks. And the reason is that AI often hallucinates as well. So AI is likely to make up a grammar rule and tell you that it's correct when that grammar rule doesn't even exist. And I can tell you that I've seen that as an editor. I've seen AI give out false information about English grammar. So you're much safer to use something that's designed for grammar and spell check, something like Grammarly, something built into a word processing program like Open Office or Microsoft Word.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that myself. Thank you so much for sharing.
Important to know,
But
yeah.
I will now let you get on regarding the precast interviews, which I know is also a very interesting topic for the audience today.
Sure. So precast interviews are the interviews that you will have to sit with a member of CCCU's admissions team. This is an interview that's about 10 to 20 minutes long, and it is where our admissions officers are going to speak to you about elements of your personal statement, elements of your application, and then questions about why you've chosen Canterbury Christchurch, why you've chosen your particular course. And they're looking to have a real conversation with you about your choices, and about what your career goals are and what has brought you to looking at Canterbury Christchurch. So why do we do precast interviews? It's our chance to meet you as an applicant and understand why you've chosen to study with us. But we also have a duty to ensure that all students who join us for study have the genuine intention to study while they're in the UK. As many of you may know, the UKVI itself does often bring applicants for visa applications into interview. So it is quite likely that you could also have an interview with UKVI. So we want to be sure that A, you are the person that you say you are, that what you're saying matches your statement of purpose, that the reasons that you want to study with us and your career goals and what you have to say about your work and study, they're consistent, they're genuine, they're unique to you, because you will be tested on that when it comes to any interview with UK visas and immigration. So what happens during the interview? It's usually about 5 to 7 questions, so it isn't, a very long interview with like huge demanding questions. Generally, the questions are picked randomly, so no two interviews are the same, okay? And our admissions officers are likely to ask you follow-up questions as well because it is designed to be a conversation. So questions that we often ask, why you've chosen CCCU, tell us why you've chosen your particular course, what are your career goals, how does the course fit into this, and what are your post-study work plans. It's really important that you not prepare a script and read from a script during this interview. Even though that might be tempting, if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling like, oh, I'm just going to blank out when someone asks me a question, a lot of people deal with that feeling, where you feel like, oh, my mind's going to go blank. It's really important that you don't read from a prepared statement because this is one of the things that UKVI will refuse your visa for. Okay. And subsequently, it's something that we won't allow for the precast interview. We'd much rather hear a genuine answer from you that's off the cuff than a prepared statement, especially again, statements that have been written by AI and that are identical to the other interviews we've done that week, because unfortunately that does happen. Again, if you use AI, your answers are going to be the same as everyone else who decided to use AI for that particular interview. It will not be genuine. It will not be unique. I think that's something that people don't realize, even, with job interviews, any type of interviewing you're doing. If you put a prompt in there for that, you're going to present the exact same information that everyone else who put the same prompt in. So it's much better to come up with your own answers, you know, using, you know, your genuine reasons. So you may feel like your reason for choosing, you know, a games design course at Canterbury Christchurch is not very valid. You know, maybe you've been playing Nintendo and you just love Mario Kart and you just think, I want to make really fun games. And you think, oh, this is not going to sound serious. We would much rather hear that than the answer that you think that we want to hear. You know, if you're studying a business and management course, and there's a particular company or a particular industry that you're interested in, but you think, oh, well, that industry, maybe they won't take me seriously for wanting to work in that industry. Or, oh, no one's heard of that company. So I'm just going to say these big companies that everyone always talks about. We recommend you don't do that because then your answers are exactly the same as everyone else who thinks, oh, I need to name the, you know, top 5 consulting firms. I need to name the, you know, top 5 companies from the country I'm from. That is less genuine than telling us the real reason that you want to take this course. So we would much rather hear an interesting answer that is genuine to you than an answer that is, you know, generic, pre-prepared, and this type of thing. Okay, next slide. Thank you. So how to be ready for your precast interview? Tell your interviewer your genuine reasons for choosing CCCU in your course of study, not what you think sounds good, okay? Don't read off a script or any other prep material. Have a conversation instead. Make sure you're knowledgeable about the course you've chosen, okay? So you're going to want to read through the course web pages. You're going to want to look at the modules and the information about the modules, okay? We want to hear how the course you've chosen fits into your academics and your career goals. So we want you to be prepared, but it's important that you be yourself. So booking your precast interview, you will do this via our web portal, which is called My Record. You'll see a nice big red button and you'll be able to click on that and choose a time for your interview. So it's nice and easy. We're going to talk about deposit payments now, and these are the payments that you have to make in order to progress to the CAS stage. So there will be a big red button inside of My Record again, which is our student portal. It will tell you that your deposit is required. We recommend that you make the payment after you've done your precast interview. You know, at this time of year, if you're looking to come for September, you know, it won't be too early to pay. You know, if you're looking at later intakes, we do recommend waiting until after your precast interview and not paying too early. So next slide. So you will be able to click into the button. Oh, yeah, thank you. So you'll be able to click into the button and it will give you a bit of information and it will tell you how much you need to pay. And then if you click on the blue Take Action button, you'll be able to select your options. The next slide. So we do have Canberra, which is an online platform where you can make your payment. And we highly recommend that you use Canberra to make your payment because you can track your payment and the status within the Canberra platform. Okay. They've got good rates on currencies for most of the countries, the common countries. Most places you can pay in your local currency. So it's a really good option. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to actually request your CAS in the next slide. So back in our portal, My Record, you will see a big red button again that says actions are required. And it will ask you about documents you need to upload. So we have an immigration history form and some ID documents. It will ask you to upload those things, okay, as part of the requirements for your CAS. Next slide, okay. You'll see the button that orange button that says request to CAS, once you've given all the documents, you have paid your deposit, you've passed your pre-CAS interview, this orange button will show up. And when you click that, you'll be able to request your CAS. So next slide. But when you click the button, it will take you to a page that has all of your CAS data. So you'll be able to go through each of these areas, program details, passport, personal details, etc. Check that everything is as you expect it. If something isn't, you have a space to write some notes in there before you submit your CAS request. Next slide. Right. So the important one to talk about is the financial requirement. So you will be required to provide your bank statements to us for checking. So you'll need to upload financial documentation that proves you have the balance of remaining tuition fees and monthly living expenses while you're in the UK. UKVI require people to have a total of £10,539 available for that first year of studies, plus any remaining tuition fees. So you can use your bank statements if you are sponsored by an international company or your government. You can use a sponsorship letter. If you're taking out an education loan, you can use that type of document. But it's important to know that the money must be held in your bank account for a minimum of 28 days. Okay. And UKVI prefers bank statements that are longer than 28 days. So you will need to send a month-long statement over to us that shows that you've held this money for that time if you're using a bank statement. All your financial statements need to be on an official letterhead, and that includes the institution's name and logo on every page. They should be signed and stamped by the bank or the financial institution. And the statements need to have the currency, a statement date, your account number, and all of that important information on it. Your parents can sponsor you financially. In this case, they can use their financial statements, but they must submit a letter that agrees to the terms of the sponsorship, okay? Whether they're giving you the money or they're loaning you the money, okay? And what they're allowing the money to be used for. And you also need to provide legal documents that show your relationship to your parents, your guardians, or whoever your legal guardian is. So that could be your birth certificate, it could be an adoption certificate, it could be a letter of legal guardianship, plus their bank statements. Okay, so once you've confirmed all the details of your CAS, the compliance team will review your CAS request. If further information is required, we will email you directly about this, right? The CAS itself will be sent by email. And this email contains the unique CAS number that you need to use for your visa application. You should not make a visa application until you have received your CAS number. Otherwise, it will be refused, okay? So that's really important. When you receive your CAS details, make sure you check through that email and all the details that are in it for accuracy. Very important that if you did spot some sort of typo or you think there's a problem, that you reach out to us immediately so that we can fix that for you. In the unlikely event that your application is refused, you'll need to provide a scanned copy of your refusal to our compliance team so that we can give you advice on how you can challenge that refusal, okay? We do have students every year who are very successful in challenging their refusals. So absolutely, it can be really worrying when you receive a refusal, but if you contact us, send us the copy, we can give you some advice about how to deal with that. If your arrival in the, oh, sorry, can you go back one? Thanks. If your arrival in the UK is delayed due to your visa application or any other circumstances, you can just write to the compliance team to let them know. Thanks. Next slide. So some tips for you for avoiding a visa refusal. Apply early, 8 to 12 weeks before you plan to start your study, okay? So we're getting to the 8-week-ish mark. We're not quite there yet. So now is the time. If you're interested in September, if you're interested in January, you can apply now for that as well. Okay. So the earlier, the better. Keep all your documents up to date, including your financial documents, and don't miss uploading them to the UKVI's website when you apply. It does happen occasionally for students that they've just completely forgotten to attach a document. Often UKVI will reach out to you if they see something is missing, but not always. They may just refuse you. So it's really important that you check through everything before you actually submit that application. Prepare for your interview with UKVI. They will consider your language proficiency in the interview, as well as your reasons for study, okay? And this is another reason that we really ask you to write the statement of purpose yourself. You know, it's really important you do that. Precast interview, be prepared, but don't read off a script. If you're called into interview with UKVI, they are going to be looking at what you're saying, but also how you say it. And if they don't feel that your language proficiency meets with, you know, the qualification that you have or what's required to study in the UK, they could refuse you. And we have seen that, you know, and not to say that anyone here would be thinking of doing this, but if you have someone else sit in, say, your precast interview, because you think they'll do a better job than you know, or you even send a different person to your UKVI interview, and then you show up for your study. We are going to find out because we check against everything, okay? But the other thing is you're just setting yourself up for failure. We really advise, obviously, you know, fraud is not acceptable to us. You will lose your place to study. Your offer would be rescinded. Even if you're here and we found out, you know, we would not be tolerating that. But you're also just, yeah, setting yourself up for failure. The more work you put into your application, the better results you're going to get when you actually get here to study. So even if it's hard, make sure you put the effort into your statement of purpose and your precast interview. Okay.
And Elaine,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. I think the question that we're receiving quite often is when students are preparing for the UKVI possible interview, is it the same preparation they should put in precast interview, or there's a difference of how they should approach these interviews?
Very, very similar. Very similar. I would say for the UKVI interview, you want to do even more research. You want to know as much about the program that you're going to study as possible. Okay. If you mention a module that, say, you get the name wrong or you just blank and don't know a module, make something up, you can get refused for that. Okay. The UKVI are really expecting you to know the course that you're applying to and what that course entails. Okay. So you need to know the course very well. They also are expecting that you will have looked into quite a few different universities and you're going to have reasonable and understandable reasons for choosing CCCU over your other university choices, okay? And it may not be enough to just say, yeah, I looked at this university, I looked at that university. They're expecting to hear details. Well, what did you look at that university? You know, what course was it? Why did you choose this one over that one? You know, some people come to us because they feel that our price point and the teaching that we offer is the sweet spot. It's exactly what they're looking for. Be prepared to explain that in more than just, oh, the price is good. Because a quick answer like that we've seen doesn't go over very well with UKVI. They're expecting a more nuanced answer, you know, and I know that you guys, your applicants, have these answers because you've spent so much time thinking about where you're going to study and why you're going to do that and exactly how much it costs and how much money you've got to put towards it. You're going to have a huge long list of reasons why you're choosing CCCU. So it's about being prepared, you know, not memorizing a statement to just dictate out to UKVI. Again, that's something that they will pick up on and they can refuse you for, but more like knowing your answers, being prepared by knowing the points and reciting to yourself, okay, well, these are the reasons why I chose it, okay? And they do need to be the genuine reasons because UKVI are looking to make sure that you are here to study first and foremost. And they expect people who are here to study to be able to talk about that in a genuine and unique way that is specific to the applicant.
So generic scripted answers, they might sound like a very quick fix and a possible solution, but in reality, they are the things that will make the students fail both the precast and UKVI interviews. So preparation is really important. Now, you mentioned that precast interviews do not have a set of questions, they're improvised. So are the UKVI interviews. So really what the students should be doing is looking not in the specific questions what they might be asked, but the topics and the research topics and doing independent research rather than working on somebody else's. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, that's right on the money. They want the genuine reasons, you know. When we use AI or when we sort of pull from the ether the reasons that we think will sound good, we end up sounding like everyone else. There's going to be so many applicants that say, "Yeah, I want to work at this place, this place, this place," especially if you are coming from a certain region. There's going to be companies that everyone knows from the country that you're from. And if every single applicant says, "I want to work there because of XYZ," then that just starts to sound generic to the interviewer. Because remember, the interviewer is seeing, a huge amount of applicants, that want to study similar courses coming from the same places. So it is sort of about being memorable and being different, being genuine. Those things will get you much further and will protect you much more against a visa refusal. So other things to think about. Most refusals happen again because the applicant can't explain what research they did to make their decision, including the other countries and courses they considered. So we talked about that a bit. We do recommend putting in financial statements that are longer than necessary. So if you're able to put in a bank statement that's 60 days or more to show your comings and goings, again, that lends to credibility because these really are credibility interviews, about your genuineness as a student. When it comes to the financial requirement, the UKVI want to see that you have this money. This money is actually yours, and it's going to be available for you while you study during that first year and so on. If you give a bank statement that is just 28 days and it shows the money going in on that first day and it's been held for just that amount of time, it can look like to UKVI that someone has just lent you the money to show that you have it, and then potentially you're going to have to give it back to someone after you've got your visa because the money has sort of served its purpose. The longer that you can show that you've held this money, maybe this money has come from savings from yourself or your parents, the better and more credible you will look. So you can provide supplementary statements showing where that money came from, and that it's been held there for X amount, and maybe it was earned by so-and-so's salary. You can provide salary slips, all of that kind of stuff. That's really important for establishing your financial credibility, that money will be there for you for the entirety of your study. Just as I was saying, the supplementary financial documentation. Think about your credibility, and what you will look like as an applicant. And the more you can provide, the better. Okay, and in terms of a timeline, you should apply for your visa as soon as possible. And you should allow 8 to 12 weeks to receive your visa decision and travel to the UK to start studying. Arriving late means missing out on orientation and induction. and possibly classes which you'll have to catch up on. So we do recommend that you apply as early as possible so that things are as smooth as possible to join us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Elaine. And now I'm going to give it to Laura to speak about supporting our international community. Laura, over to you.
Thank you so much. And hello again to everyone. My job title is Global Student Experience Manager. It's quite possible that we've been in contact already. You may recognize my name from our digital community, our app, Campus Connect, or you will hopefully certainly recognize my colleague Negi, who is one of our international student ambassadors here with me today. I'll introduce Negi properly shortly. But we would like to share with you some of our work and hopefully leave you feeling very excited and enthused about your decision to come and study with us. I think everyone on the call is an offer holder, whether that's conditional or unconditional. So firstly, many congratulations to you. Our principal goal is to build an engaged offer holder community. So offer holders, that's yourselves. We invite you to join our community. We want you to feel like you're about to fit in. We want you to look at Canterbury Christchurch University and know that it's the place for you. We want you to be able to connect with others long before Welcome Week. And importantly, we want you to feel confident in your decision making. So what I'm about to say to you, I think the key message really is that our support is designed for students, by students as well. So I work very closely with a team of ambassadors and have a think now about what these ambassadors are doing and the information that they're sharing. It's quite possible that you would like to join our team. So have that in the back of your minds as well. We want you to be active in your experience, not passive. So this is your personal study experience. We are here to help you curate that and help you make the most of your time in the UK. My key message is for you to start thinking now about what you would like to achieve. Because in 30 years' time, when you look back at your university experience, it's quite likely that it's the friends that you make whilst here and the experiences that you try for the first time. These are the things that you will remember forever. Of course, your program of studies is essential. That's often your motivation for wanting to be here, but it's the entire experience that we're helping to create with you that will carry it with you for the rest of your lives. So who succeeds at Canterbury Christchurch University? Really, it's the people who are engaged right now. So that means it's never too early to start connecting with us. So another key message for you to take away is connect with us today. If you are an offer holder, then you will have been invited to join Campus Connect, which is our digital community. So I suggest, if you haven't already done so, please do go back through your emails and click the registration link. This is a great way to meet our ambassadors. We're an incredibly friendly and welcoming, inclusive team. Ambassadors are people who feel equally passionate about Canterbury, life in the UK, and about life at CCCU in general. And they help me support you. So for instance, people like Humera, one of our team who recently graduated in film production. She came to me and said, Laura, I would like to help promote our support services. How can I do so? And thinking about what she studied and where her strengths are, she has designed a really lovely little video, which I think we're about to show now, actually. just to give you a taste of the support that's available, but also how our students can get involved in communicating that. Thank you. So I love what Humaira has done here. She's used her own skills, her own professional skills. She's able to put this on her CV and her LinkedIn community as well. And she's able to share with you how she feels we can support you. So I hope that offers you some inspiration there. As a team, we know Canterbury incredibly well, so please take advantage of our knowledge. I was thinking about what Elaine has just told you about your SOP and pre-CAS interviews. Campus Connect is ideal. It's absolutely perfect for you if you're looking to really research the university and to think about what it is you want to achieve while you're here. You can ask questions, you can learn about the intricacies of student life. Campus Connect will tell you things that AI never can. So please do take a look, and you can read the blogs, you can see the vlogs. We also have a podcast, which is delivered by our international students. So it's incredibly active. I was just checking our data, and last month we had 135 new offer holders sign up. I know that we've had just under 3,000 messages sent. That's offer holder to offer holder. We've also had just over 350 chats in the groups because we have interest groups on the app. So there's all sorts of communication and connection happening. And so now is the time for you to get involved. As offer holders, you are on the app, but we also have current students on there as well. So even once you have registered, you are still invited to continue contributing to the community. Likewise, we also have some alumni, international student alumni on there now. So it really is quite a dynamic community. Just in case there's any agents on the call, you might be interested to know that we have agents registered as well. We have specific Q&A sessions for agents, and it's a good way for you to gain a glimpse of student life. So in summary, Campus Connect is a fantastic place to create good conversations. We broker connections, so we introduce you to each other if we discover a particular interest that you have and we think, oh, person X may be interested in connecting with person Y. So it's very useful from our perspective. Lots of the discussions are student-led. There's opportunities for you to meet each other before you move into accommodation, for instance. If you would like to create content, please do. We welcome that. We want to hear about your journeys and your stories. Share who you are, because this is what the ambassadors are doing. This is your platform to gain honest, real-life answers. So join us, and we hope that your confidence will grow as a result. And to complement our digital community, we also offer physical in-person support as well. So our global gateway is a physical concept, really. It's an extension of the digital community. It's a place where you can come time and time again just for friendly chats. Or if you're looking for specific guidance or to be signposted to other internal support services, we can support with that. We deliver orientation sessions, welcome sessions for you in September, social events that are places for you to come and make friends, but also places for you to come and learn practical tools as well, whether that's around healthcare, accommodation, transport, or perhaps finances as well. So we offer lots of top tips. We share our insights and our recommendations so that we say hopefully you can hit the ground running, so you feel fully prepared for life in the UK. Our ambition is always that you feel fully integrated into the local community. So we support students by volunteering opportunities. Some of our international students are very keen Rotarians as well. There are Rotary clubs in Canterbury that we can link you with. And we also offer quite unique international experiences for you to take part in your spare time. Opportunities to stay with host families around the UK. Opportunities also for you to engage in trips overseas with some of our partners. So for instance, we've had international students join some of our Japanese partners for week-long programs to gain an experience in a third culture. We will also introduce you to very specialist services that the university offers, such as academic English support and also student support and well-being. So it's quite a varied service, but essentially we encourage you to come and say hello. Don't wait until you have a problem or a question. We are here, friends at the ready, friends in the making. We want you to be part of our community and to take part in the competitions. We also want you to come and see us in person. So don't limit your connections to Campus Connect. As soon as you've arrived in Canterbury, come and say hi in person. And if you do, you will meet my team of ambassadors, of which Negi is one. So I would like to pass over to Negi briefly now to say a little bit about herself and her journey through the university and beyond, because Negi has recently graduated, but is still very much part of the Canterbury Christchurch University community. Thank you, Negi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Laura. I'm really glad that I had this opportunity to be here today and explain about my own experience as a student and now a graduate and now working as an international student ambassador, because as Laura said, all of our international ambassadors, we are all coming from same community, international community. And I would say maybe we are the best people that we can guide you to adopt with university life as an international student living in UK. Well, about my journey. So I had, as we were talking about precast interview and everything, I know the pressure about the interview and everything, but as everyone said, please try to be genuine about your plan studying in university and what's your future plan, and trust yourself. So afterwards, I'm sure you will get the best result, hopefully. But if you're now offer holder, most of you probably you're in the app at the moment, and you met with Laura, me, most of the ambassadors online. So please feel free to just in the chat box say hi to us if you have any question, any queries. Even if you want to make friends before coming to UK, you can do it in the app. and also even you can find people of a order like you by searching on the locations and find them in the app. I would say, as Laura said, each one of us, we have particular skills and we can help you with that. For example, Humera studied in digital courses and I did event management. So right now I'm really keen on helping international students to make a new community by in-person events. So I would say this is the whole experience of me working as an international ambassador and as students.
Thank you so much, Negi. Sorry, Laura, please go ahead.
No, that's fine. I was going to thank Negi as well. I think there's a question for Negi actually in the chat.
And I think it's a very good one, and I think it's something that is in everyone's head. Negi, what made you choose Triple CU over other universities?
Uh, well, I guess I answered this question many times precast in our interview and from other international ambassadors as well. Well, I would say, first of all, with the course that I wanted to take with event management, I had some options in UK universities, but then if you go and see the titles that you will be taught and you will learn in universities, you will actually can decide which course you want to take and in which university. For my perspective, it was really important to me that the university that I want to study, they are really practical with their course, and in the subject of my course, it was saying you will have actual industrial projects that you will work on it. And we really had that. So it was really important to me while as I'm studying a course here, I can get involved in the actual industrial projects. Because I could get the experience of actual works, and it's very important to me have the opportunity to volunteer, work extra, to work on my CV as well for after university jobs. Because it might be very difficult and confusing if you just study with a degree and certificate but with no experience. So it was one of the elements that I choose Triple CU for studying my course specifically. Yeah, so I would say that. And also, when I looked at the campus, an image of the campus when I was at home in Iran, I loved with the campus and its beauty, and I loved in general Canterbury, and I'm in like historical places. So these two elements actually made me to choose Canterbury CCCU.
That's so beautiful to hear. Thank you. And another question came from the audience to you. Was it easy to make friends at Triple CU and get involved in clubs and societies?
I would say this question is very personal. Like it's different to a different people and personalities. For me, I'm a little bit extrovert, so it was easy for me because I put myself out, and I would say in the day 3 of living here, I joined a dance club. So I found a lots of friends here. So yes, you will see a lots of events going on for international students from the community that we are in and we are coming from, and you will get support from them. So you can find any events, any in-person events, online events that you're interested in. There's a lots of opportunities around Canterbury because it's a student city. So there is no excuse that you cannot find your own people and your own connection and your own passion to go to. So yeah, it was easy for me personally to find new people and connect with. But I would say for some people it might be a bit difficult, or if you're a shy person and you're not really into having a close connection with people, it takes time for you. You can start like from small events, just even no one is gonna push you or stress you to have connection. You can just join, sit somewhere quiet, and you gradually will find your friends, new connection and everything. And I would say it's very important to have connections, because then you will get opportunities, most of the opportunities through your connections and friends. So yes, in general, it was easy for me personally.
Very well
Brilliant.
said. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. Now we're
I,
going
I,
to
oh,
Laura, please go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was going to add that Negi is a very eloquent writer, and so I really encourage people to read the blogs that she's written on the app. They're available to all, and they are beautiful because
Thank you.
Negi talks very passionately about her experience. But you know, just for ideas and inspiration. If you're interested in dance, especially Negi is your go-to person. But yeah, I absolutely recommend Negi's blogs.
Thank you.
I'll definitely read them myself now. Thank you very much. And let's take the last question from the audience for Negi before we close this webinar. Negi, can you think of one highlight, one memory from studying Triple CU that you believe will carry with you for a long time?
Uh, there are many highlights in Triple CU, but I would say the opportunities that I got from Triple CU studying here would be my highlights of my experience studying here. Um, because like, I would say, as an international person and as someone that I was just studying here, started my course, not the best English that I could just present. When I shared my idea with people, staff here, they trusted in me and they allowed me to try my ideas. And the goal that I had, and then I achieved that with that ideas and everything, with all the mistakes that I had, and I learned from them through that idea and the learning process of reaching that goal. At the end, looking at the pictures, videos, the outcome of that idea with all of the mistakes that I had and everything, it would say I would say like it's the highlight of my student life and everything in CCCU. And I will always remember that, and I will always remember trust and support I got from CCCU.
Thank you so much for sharing, Negi. This is wonderful. Now, with this, we're going very close to the time of our webinar to close. Just before we do, I just want to remind everyone in the audience that yes, both the PPT and the recording will be available and shared with you. So if you missed any part or you will have any questions, that's something you can always refer to. Now, while we're ending the webinar, I would like to give a warm thank you again to Elaine, Laura, and Negi for joining us today for this webinar. It has been very helpful. I'm sure the audience is now a lot calmer and a lot more grounded while going through the student journey. Now, if you still have any questions, remember you can always email us at interview request at InUni Global, and we're happy to take any of your questions in case there's any left from today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a lovely day wherever you are.